Hey, welcome to Parents Under Construction podcast. We're so glad you could join us. I'm Michael Jarquin, and my friend and mentor, Dr. Ed West, are recording our conversations for the purpose of supporting Christian parents with biblical solutions to child rearing. Our goal is to provoke parents to change ahead of their children. It is what is necessary for this thing called parenting that God has mandated. Again, welcome, and we hope you get something out of these discussions. Good morning. So this is, you drew this picture for me. I kind of want to explain it so that listeners can kind of create in their mind a picture. But it's a picture of a father and a son, it looks like, standing before a bridge that is going over a river perhaps. And there's an alligator in the river, and there's some writing here. The bridge is the right way to go. It's not impeded. There's nothing in the way. It looks pretty clear. To the far side of that, there's a brick wall, and it says prevent. It looks like you're just not going that way. It looks impassable. Then there is a rock where it says permit, but it looks like there's a little trail around it that leads to the right way. And where the alligator is, it says stop. There's a sign that says stop, and it also says prohibit. So, yeah, curious to dig into this. I know that this podcast is supposed to be about manners, part of teaching manners. So, what are we looking at here?
Parents just simply apply to children rules in a daily interaction with their children about how to go this way correctly. Brush your teeth, put on your coat before you go outside. It's wet outside, wear your raincoat. Buckle up your seatbelt. A million rules come at children all day. These rules determine the way the child is going to live his life by the parents' guidance. And it's what we call manners. Manners is the manner in which you conduct your life.
Is it a transfer of values, would you say?
Well, transfer of values occurs as this is going on. But this is the routines of directing a child into the right way to go.
Okay.
Parents do this all the time. They don't know they're doing it, but they're just telling kid, eat your cereal.
Yeah.
Don't be late for school.
Yeah. So an example of brushing your teeth would be that this is something that we teach our kids because it's something that we do. We also know it's good for us. So therefore it's good for the children.
The reasons you do it are good reasons. The kid should brush his teeth. The kid should eat his broccoli. The kid should go to bed on time.
But they don't care about those things.
No, but we just drop them in their lives. Do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
We don't really take any time to say, this is how you do this. Let's practice it until we get it down. That would be child rearing. Child rearing is practicing doing it right. We just tell them what right is and what wrong is, and right is and wrong is, and right is and wrong is. We don't take any time to work with them on this stuff.
Yeah, because brushing your teeth for a toddler is, what I've experienced is a toddler will put the toothbrush in their mouth and suck the toothpaste until it's gone.
It's the way people go to church. You should go to church. Okay, I go to church.
Well, one of the ways that I've showed my kids how to brush their teeth was to actually brush my teeth in front of them while they're brushing their teeth.
And that's fine to bottle it. There are all kinds of ways to teach it. I'm not talking about the technique of teaching.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the principle
Okay.
of you get so many lessons thrown out in a moment in time with a child that you don't really teach any of them.
You're just throwing out.
They just keep coming. They just keep coming. And the picture you just described of parent and a child are looking at a bridge over a little creek with an alligator on the bank. If they go across the creek on the bridge, they'll be safe. It's a great way to go. It's obviously the right way to go, is over the bridge. Don't get down there where the alligator is. Go over the bridge. There's a pathway, a good, nice pathway that goes over the bridge.
Okay.
That would be something that would be the right way to go. And that would be an example of this is a good manner of conducting yourself, is go this way. All right. An alternative would be, it's not time for you to learn the detail of this manner yet. And so I'm permitting you to not learn it yet because I've got some bigger things to do with you. Example would be, I think it's important to get to church on time.
Yeah.
That's manners, to get to church on time. Okay, it's important to eat a good breakfast.
Okay.
It's important to be dressed properly to go to church. And so you have Sunday morning chaos.
Yep.
do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. And finally you get out of the house and you're 10 minutes late anyway. What's the biggest deal on Sunday morning? What's the biggest deal on Sunday morning? Probably is being in the right attitude.
I mean, the right attitude as you go there.
When you leave the house
Yeah.
to go to church.
Yeah, because how often is it just chaotic and everybody's on their way and they're all so upset when they get there?
Because what does the child remember about going to church? It was a mess.
Yeah.
It was a mess. When I was a kid, it was a mess to go to church. And so do you go to church now? Why would I do that? I don't want to mess on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And it was a mess in my house on Sunday morning to go to church. I don't want to do that. So what do you end up? A kid doesn't go to church. And after all this, you end up with a kid that doesn't want to go to church. That's because you're not even paying attention to the fact he's got a bad attitude about all this. He's resisting it because he doesn't like what's going on. He doesn't like all the fuss and all the and all the rush and all the rest of it. There are all kinds of ways to do this. I'm not talking about how to do it right now. I'm talking about the principle that we lose track of. What's the big deal here? Is it as important that he sit down and eat breakfast before we go to church? I don't know if it is or not. Maybe it is. Well, then that's more important than getting to church on time. Is it more important that we get to church on time than it is to sit down and eat breakfast? Maybe it is. That means maybe a snack in the car. I don't know what it means, but you need to think about it. You need to say, well, how much time do I have? I can get up an hour earlier and do all this stuff and do it a lot easier. But then we're all going to be sleepy. Okay, now you got to pay the price for that.
If you're enjoying the conversation, I think you'll get a lot out of Doc's book titled How You Feed a Cat. That is, How You Feed a Cat, because I told you to feed the cat and you listened to me. This book is full of Doc's experiences as a pediatrician, father, and husband. It sheds light on the role of a parent in the child's life and how we as parents need to change ahead of our children. You can find the book on Barnes & Noble's website or in the app, and the link is in the description below.
Yeah.
Well, you decide what matters to you. What do you want to train? And work on that and get it down. If you ever get something down, the rest of the things start falling into place. But you take it all on, you throw it all at the kid. Do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. And he's looking at the alligator and saying, the alligator looks pretty interesting. And all you've got stopping him from getting to the alligator
The sign.
is a sign that says no.
Yeah.
He can get past that. He's learning how to get past that. You're teaching him how to get past it because you make all these rules. He doesn't go along with them. And rather than correcting him and training him to go along with a rule, you give him another rule. And he doesn't go along with that one either, so you give him another rule. What do you think he's going to do with that one? You're training him to not do it because you're giving him so many rules. So this means you end up permitting certain things because it's not time to teach it yet. I can get back to this with you. I'll teach you about this someday. But right now, the most important thing is we go to church with a good attitude. Now, if we get a good attitude going to church, now we can tighten it a little bit. Maybe get you up a little bit earlier. We fix breakfast before I go to bed tonight.
Or maybe teach breakfast in a different day.
I'd teach breakfast on a different day. And this is how you get through breakfast on Saturday morning when we don't have to get out of here to go to church. This is how you take breakfast and practice how they have breakfast. There are all kinds of ways to do it. It's just a matter of not doing it this way, of just throwing a bunch of rules at him. Because if all you had against the alligator was a bunch of signs saying, no, stop, don't do this, sooner or later the kid's going to see a way to get around a sign. He can't go past the brick wall. The brick wall's there. That's a closed door. That's a locked door. He can't go past it. And you can always close stuff out of a kid's life. My kid misuses the telephone, his cell phone. Well, don't give him his cell phone.
Confiscate the phone.
That's the end of it. He was using the cell phone. You don't have to talk about it. He doesn't have a cell phone.
Yeah.
What? Okay, so I have a 6-year-old. He's got to have a cell phone. I was 6 years old. I didn't have a cell phone.
Yeah.
And I got to be 7 years old, and I got to be 12 years old, and I still didn't have a cell phone.
That's right.
There's life without a cell phone. And it's silly to give away adult privileges to children because they don't know how to deal with them. And then we get all upset because they don't deal with them right. Well, they're children. And there's a whole culture of manners with cell phones. Don't go on this site. Don't scroll that. Right? Don't do this at this time of day. Blah, 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 blah. All these rules about cell phone. You don't have any rules if you don't give them a cell phone. And you don't have to enforce any rules because you don't have a cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does it make you think?
Just looking at the picture, so it seems that the dad is at an impasse here, has to make a decision on. I'm assuming that the child doesn't have all of these in front of them, right? These are choices that the parent has to make.
Yeah, he can see them. The parent sees these choices.
The parent sees the choices, the child doesn't.
It's just standing there. The child's just standing there, and he's taking in what he's looking at, but he doesn't know what we're doing next.
The brick wall, which is to prevent, is not even an issue. It's a non-issue.
It can't go that way because there's a brick wall there.
Right. But the stop prohibit has an alligator there, and he perhaps is pretty interesting. So that stop prohibit requires something previous to the command.
Which means what you're saying now is the parent has trained the child. When I say stop, that's exactly what I mean.
Right.
It's just over with. You're not going that way by my authority. I'm not trying to make you not go that way. You're deciding to not go that way.
But that had to have been taught.
Yeah, it has to be taught before you get to the alligator. Because it's too late once you get to the alligator to teach don't go that way.
Right. And the permit is perhaps things that...
As he gets older, there's things you permit that you wouldn't permit a younger child to do.
Or perhaps it's things that what do they say? It's a hill not worth dying on.
Exactly. There are also things that you would not stop at. Let's say, for instance, would you want to teach a 6-month-old baby how to use a spoon correctly?
No.
That's stupid.
No, yeah.
It's just stupid.
Right.
A kid just, I don't think he can grasp the spoon, but if he grasps the spoon, he'll bang on the table with it a couple of times.
Right.
He'll probably try to stick it in his mouth. He probably can't stick it in his mouth.
We're lucky if he can get it to his mouth.
Just get up to his face.
Right.
And you get all upset because he didn't hold his spoon correctly. That's silly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's an example of a child can't do something and you're trying to get him to do it. You get upset with him. You're making rules about it. He doesn't even know what we're talking about yet.
Yeah.
Okay, another would be, I have a 3-year-old who has a messy room. He looks at his room and it's a disaster. He can't even see the floor. There's so much stuff all over the place. He can't even see the floor. And you say, clean up your room. He looks at it and says, I can't. There's so much stuff.
Yeah.
How did all this stuff get in here? You got it for him. You put it in there.
Not to mention the attention span is short.
I know. You put all the stuff in there.
Right.
He didn't put it in here.
Right.
This was your idea to have all this stuff in here. Okay, what would happen if you went in there and thinned out some of the stuff that he doesn't mess with?
Probably see more floor.
See more floor, and he'd have a lot less work to do when he had to clean the place up.
Right.
He could clean up with 2 books and a toy. He could pick up 6 books and a toy eventually. He could pick up 6 books and 6 toys after a while. But right now, he's just looking at a room full of stuff. He's overwhelmed by it, and he just gets mad. It's his reaction. I can't do this. And you get upset with him, and now he got a real mad thing going on, and he's still not picking up his room.
The solution would be to give him a little bit at a time, then manage that first.
Teach him how to do it.
Yeah.
And work with him on it. Let's you and I do this. Watch. I'm going to put this in the box. Now you put one in the box. That's it. Now I'm going to put this in the box. Now you put that in the box. Let's work on this drawer right now. Let's put the socks here. You have another sock? Yeah. Okay, where are you going to put it? Right there. That's right.
Yeah.
And just work on something.
Teach them to manage their clothes first.
And get it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you give him this huge chance to look at. He said, I can't do that. And he just gives up. He's demoralized, perhaps even resistant. At some point, he just says, I'm not going to do it. And now you got a whole mess on your life of will that wasn't even there. It's because you brought it up.
Yeah. Now you've got to clean it up.
You're going to end up doing it.
That's what usually happens.
And he learns, if I wait long enough, you'll obey your own command. And that's what you're teaching him, actually, is you'll obey your own commands. You tell him to come here and go get him. You tell him to pick it up, and you pick it up.
If I resist long enough,
Yeah.
I can wait you out.
And he's being taught incorrectly that your commands are obeyed by you.
Teaching is happening no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
It's always happening.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's heavy because I can, in hindsight, right? Hindsight's 20/20, they say. I can see how I've taught certain things to my own children, and now you end up reaping what you sowed. Now you have a kid that does what you taught, and you didn't mean to teach him that, but you were teaching him that. That could be a harder thing to rectify.
Let's take a problem. I can't get my 5th grader to come home from school, have a snack, and get his homework done. Okay, what I want to do is I want him to come home, have a snack, and get his homework done. What he wants to do is come home and have a snack and go out and play.
Yep.
All right, I can take this on as saying I'm going to train you to come home, have a snack, and get your homework done. Or I could say, if I say to you, come home, have a snack, and go out and play, then you must do your homework after supper. But homework's got to be done. Okay, so permitting him to go out and play in the afternoon is a variation on what I want. I want him to get his homework done in the afternoon. He doesn't want to do it in the afternoon. On the other hand, he will do his homework. And so in the evening, I'm not giving him choices now. I'm making a requirement. You see that?
Yeah.
I'm requiring him to do his homework now. Okay, now he doesn't want to do his homework in the evening. Okay, now I'm getting to the real issue. The real issue is you don't want to do your homework.
Right.
It's not what time of day it is. It's that you don't do your homework.
Yeah, because it's reasonable to think that the kid should get a break.
So that I'll give the kid, I'm talking a fifth grader now.
Yeah.
I'll give him a choice. Mm-hmm. Do you want to go out and play and then do your homework after supper? Or do you want to do your homework and then watch TV after supper? Because that's what he wants to do after supper, rather than do homework.
Right.
Or play games or whatever it is.
Well, there's always something else to do other than homework.
Something else to do.
Right.
All right. Which one do you want? But you got to do one of them because you're going to go do your homework. I don't know, says he. If you don't know, then I'm going to tell you what it is.
Right.
So you better tell me.
Better choose for you.
Yeah, because you have to tell me because we're going to work. We're going to learn this one way or the other. I'm okay with you going out to play in the afternoon. I'm permitting that. In other words, I'm permitting you to go out and play in the afternoon. It's not what I really want. I really wish you'd get your homework done when you got home. On the other hand, I'll permit you to go out and play so long as you understand the importance of doing your homework after supper. But I will not put up with you not doing your homework. Sooner or later, you'll be doing your homework. And we're going to have a reliable policy on this. That would be the manners of doing homework. Manners of doing homework is you come home from school, you have a snack, and then we do what we do.
That just occurred to me. The word manners has the word manner in it.
Of course it does.
It's the manner in which
you're doing it. It's the manner in which you're doing it. That's all it means. Okay, so the kid says, you get a choice, but you'll be doing your homework sooner or later. He says, okay, let's do it that way. I'm going to come home, have a snack, and go outside. And after supper, I'll do my homework. You're sure that's what you want now? Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, now he's thinking, I really don't know what he's thinking because he doesn't tell me what he's thinking about this. But I know the kid, and what he's really thinking is, I'll pull one over on her after supper.
And I'll push.
Mom already knows this. That's who the kid is.
Yeah.
He's going to try me after supper. So Mom says, and I've got a PTA meeting tonight. Mom says, I've got to get the baby fed and get to bed.
I don't have time for this.
All right, that's what Mom says. And the kid knows it. He's fifth grade. He lives around here. He knows what goes on. Mom doesn't have it. Mom does not have it after supper. I have a better chance of beating Mom after supper. He knows that. He's smart.
Yeah. You can see this in 2 and 3 year olds.
Okay, and so then I want to give him a chance now. You said that if I let you come home from school today, have a snack, and go out and play, that you'll do your homework after supper. Is that right? Yeah, Mom, whatever. Sure. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. Good. Okay. I want to know, I want to tell you what I was going to do on Saturday with you. You know how you like to go to the park on Saturday and whatever we do at the park?
Right. Play.
We're going to go by and get your favorite fast food for a picnic. And we're going to the park on Saturday. And we're going to be doing this. We're going to the beach on Saturday. We're going to the pool on Saturday. We're going to drive over to see Grandmama on Saturday. I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter. It's whatever rings his bell. That's what we're going to be doing on Saturday.
Okay.
We are? Yeah. Unless we have to do homework.
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute. Homework. Saturday? We don't do homework on Saturday. No, we don't. But we will be doing it if you don't do homework this evening after supper. We'll be doing it on Saturday. I have time on Saturday. I have all day.
I remember you gave me this years ago with my children. I had 3 homeschooled children at the time.
I have all day to work with you on Saturday.
Yeah.
I will get up early, by the way, to do it.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to do it on Saturday, you may wait in your room on Saturday, and maybe the other kids in the family can go to the park. What? Yeah. Yeah, Dad can take the other kids to the park, and you and I'll stay home and do homework. Wait a minute, when do they get to the park? Because that's what I say.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I have, is that's what I say. And you do homework. And if you don't want to do homework, you can wait in your room till you do. And you will not come out of your room unless you're ready to do homework. Now, let me tell you what's doing homework on Saturdays like. It's not going to be homework for 5th grade. You know what it's going to be? A 3rd grade workbook.
Easy stuff.
Any kid in the 5th grade can do a 3rd grade workbook.
Yeah.
Here's the workbook. I already bought it because I think we may be doing this, by the way. I want you to look at it. This is 3rd grade workbook. You know how to do this stuff? Yeah. Good, because I know you know how to do it. And you know what? Let's say this page right here. This is a wonderful page of 3rd grade homework. 6 plus 8 is, 14. Right. You didn't know that in the 3rd grade, though. You had to learn that.
Right. It's very remedial at this point.
Okay, so you know the answers to these questions on this word vocabulary word means this vocabulary word means that, and you draw a line from this word to that definition, or whatever the book is. I don't care what it is. And you just show them how easy it is. Now, you see this page right here? Look at what I've got here. I've got 20 copies of this page.
Ooh.
And when you do this page exactly right, I'm going to give you the next one. It'll be the same page.
Yeah.
And you'll do that one exactly right too. And when that one's exactly right, then I'll give you the same page again.
Sounds similar to detention in school when the teacher would make you write something over
100 times on the board.
Yes. You didn't want to do that.
Okay, but it's got to be done exactly right.
Right.
And if it's not done exactly right, you'll do it until it's done exactly right. And then you have the next page to do exactly right.
Right.
Well, that's stupid. Of course it's stupid. It'd be far better to spend Saturday having a good time.
Right, at the beach.
I just want you to remember, when you come home this afternoon from school, you can have a snack and go out and play, but you've decided you want to do homework after supper. Please don't give me any trouble about homework, because if you do, I'm not going to argue with you. But I do know what I'm doing on Saturday, and I know what you're doing on Saturday, too. Do you think I'm serious right now, kid?
You've got to be.
You've got to look him in the eye. Do you think I mean it, kid? Do you think I've got it in me to do this? Look deep into my soul.
Well, you've got to be. You've got to follow through, because if you don't, you done messed it
You've
up.
lost a big one. You've lost a really big one.
Yeah. I know that when I did it with my kids, they took me very serious, and it didn't take another time.
Yep.
And we didn't do remedial
Yep.
schoolwork. We just did the task of getting up.
Whatever the task is.
Getting ready
Yeah.
for school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to today's podcast. We hope that you've gotten something out of our discussion. If you've enjoyed listening, please support us by subscribing to our show and rating us. Bye for now.